Fickle Man Part 2. Sort of Part 2. It's not really a Part 2. It's just a continuation of my plan. In the first part, I mentioned, buying a travel trailer and putting it under my cover in Capitan, New Mexico, and selling my Class C motorhome, my 2020 or 2021. I'm not sure. It's one of those two. It's a Thor 4 Winds 22E. Yeah, contact me if you're interested in something like that. Rusty78609@gmail.com. Now, today, I'm on the way to Roswell, New Mexico, and I'm going to go by some car dealerships. Why? Well, because part of my plan is once I get this travel trailer thing done, then I want to be able to take extended trips in the car. All right. Now, so that means my driving habits are going to change dramatically. Does that mean the EV is not working for me? It means that it has worked for me up to this point. But now that I'm going to be traveling long distances, say, 300 or 400 miles at a time or more, and there's not chargers everywhere yet, there are a lot, and I could probably force it to work, but I don't need to, you know what I mean? And again, I'm 77 years old, soon be 78, and if there's anything I want to do, I better damn well get busy doing it. So what I'm going to do, and I'm on the way to check it out today, and it may fall through. I'm not saying it's 100%, but it's close. And because you know me, fickle man, when I get on something, I don't get off, and so we're at it. And so anyway, so we're going over to Roswell today, and we're going to look at some hybrids and stuff, and and if I can work a decent deal, I'll probably do it today. I ain't going to jack around. That's not my style, Yeah, I brought the title and the extra key and stuff with me, and so I'm good to go, on that score, and yeah. So what kind of car am I looking at? I'd like to get a hybrid if I can work a deal on one, a Toyota or a Kia or a Hyundai or whatever, Hyundai or however you say it, whatever, just something decent, and but let me say this about the electric vehicle. This has probably been the best car I have ever owned. Why? It is damn quiet. You can't beat the energy efficiency at 3 cents a mile. You know what I mean? The hybrid I'll buy, if it gets 40 miles a gallon, that's going to be around 8 cents a mile. You see what I mean? So it'll be about 3 times as much. Does that bother me? No, because I can, $100 a month for gasoline is not going to kill me. But and even if it went to 150, it's not a big deal. It's not a big part of my budget, and I'm not going to be driving that much. But I am going to be taking some trips, and I'd like to. Here's my plan, if it all works out. I would like to celebrate my 78th birthday in Taos, New Mexico, staying in a cabin somewhere or some little place. Why Taos? I just like the flavor of that area. It's not any better than Capitan, really. About the same. Well, it's a little higher in elevation, about 600 feet higher in elevation, and so it'd be slightly cooler, but not much. And it's got the flavor of all the tourists. It's kind of it's active. The city is alive, or the little town. And I've been out there so many times that I know my way around. So anyway, that's kind of the story. There is, I want to start doing that. I'm going to try that. I thought about trying it with the EV, and I could make it work. I could, I looked at, charging stations and all that stuff, and I could force it and make it work, but I don't want to. I'm 77 years old. I don't want to be worried about shit like that. I just want to go. I just want to go. Am I really excited about getting an ICE car again, an internal combustion engine? No, I'm not, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to say, well, you idiot. No, just call me fickle. You can leave idiot out. Stupid, you can leave that out too. Fickle, we're okay with that. I am. But if you look at life from my perspective now, at my age, 77, you realize that if there's any goddamn thing you want to do, you better get off your hiney and get going, because it ain't going to get done. No. I know I'll get a lot of negative feedback, or not a lot, I'll get some, which is fine. And I'm glad, because, but again, I know it's hard to look at something from someone else's perspective. It's probably the worst failing of humanity is that we don't even try. If somebody says something like something isn't working for them or they're going to change this or that, from their perspective, that's a damn good idea. But from your perspective, you're going to go, what the hell are you doing that for? You know, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Well, that's life. You know, sometimes people do dumb things according to you. So anyway, enough said about that. As far as the car, you know, and as far as lease or purchase, I've leased. I could lease. I'm certainly in the category that would benefit by leasing, because you know you put down $2,000 or whatever it is and lease them for 10 to 15,000 miles a year. And could I do that? Sure, I could. You know, and would it work? Well, the only downside of a lease is, one, you know, you got that limitation on the miles. But of course, if I went with 15,000 miles, that would certainly not be a limitation to me, because I am not going to be driving that much. So that's a viable option. The downside of leases is at the end, when you turn the vehicle in, you don't have anything. You know, you don't have a what you call a trade-in. No, you've made all those payments, and you don't have anything. You know, so yeah, even though the payments are substantially lower, because you know it's not a bad deal. I'll say that. You know, and you know, the fact that I could tax deduct all of that every year. You know, every I could deduct all the payments, you know, or 90% of it, because that's what I'd say I used the car, you know, and so that's something to think about. I'd come out a little bit on that, but I looked at the numbers, and we'll see how it goes. Depends on how much they give me on a trade-in, and yeah, and unfortunately, you know, I'm such a quick guy that, you know, I would give somebody an opportunity to buy this thing, because it's a great vehicle. I've got like 9,193 miles on it right now. And I've got every kind of charger you can dream of, you know. I mean, you know, you talk about speed humps. Look at this thing in the road up here. You know, the reason they do that here, this is the little town of Lincoln, New Mexico. This is like where Billy the Kid was, and the Lincoln County Wars, and they got all these old buildings and stuff. And people come through here, tourists, a lot, and they park on the sides of the road, and they just walk back and forth across the roads to see the buildings. Well, if somebody comes speeding through there at 50 miles an hour, he's going to go out of town with a lot of tourists with him, you know, in the windshield and grill and everywhere else. So, but no, that's not a good deal. But having said that, guys, yeah, I'm doing this video, and the other one I did too, because it gives me a chance to review my thoughts. And you know, I know there's a lot of holes in it. I mean, I really do. I mean, some of you wouldn't even think of. But there's not near as much storage in these cheap travel trailers that I'm thinking about getting to replace my Class C motorhome, because that's part of this plan too. And then as far as taking trips to different locations and finding a spot, you know, like a little cabin or something, that's kind of a dream too, because the reality of that is, during the tourist season, which we're right in the middle of it right now, this is like June of, I don't know, 12th, 13th, whatever it is. And yeah, it's, you know, you try to make a reservation, you say, oh boy, I got me this car, I can go 500 miles, shit, let's go. Hello, you know, you can't find a place, you know, everything's full. You know? And could that happen? Sure. Let me take a bite of my cantaloupe. Very good. But anyway, I'm excited again, because I was getting into that, you know, the new normal thing, the new norm being sitting on my butt in a rocking chair. I hear you, which is fine every now and then. Yeah, every now and then, that's great. But man, you know, as long as I can, I feel pretty good this morning, thank goodness. Go see do, man. I mean, is there any place I really want to go see do? I don't know. I'm fixing to open up Pandora's box and go and see what comes out. You know, I don't know where all this is going to lead. It's just a new trail. I haven't been down this one before. You know, I haven't tried this. I've always gone, for 28 years or whatever it's been, I've been in an RV, pulling it down the highway, going place A to place B. As far as the monthly expense, you can rent a cabin, depending on the location. If it's Taos, New Mexico, it's going to be $2,000 a month maybe. But if it's some other area, I'd say average around $1,000 to $1,500 a month for a cabin, small one. Yeah, somewhere in that range. But will I stay by the month? More than likely, I will not stay by the month. More than likely, I will stay by the week, which is more expensive than staying by the month. I understand that, but it gives me the flexibility of using my home base in Capitan, New Mexico as kind of a springboard to other locations in this beautiful state. And it's not that far from Arizona and different places. Yeah, Flagstaff's a neat little city, and I could do a lot of stuff. I can go stay in a cabin for a week in Flagstaff, and then go somewhere else, go to California and stay a week. You know what I mean? That's my dream. Okay, that's the dream, and then the reality is, sorry, we don't have anything available till December 2030. You know what I mean? And could that happen? Sure, but I try to accentuate the positive. Keep the dream alive by thinking positive, because it's easy to punch holes in a dream and let all the air out of it, and then there you sit deflated in a rocking chair staring at trees blowing in the wind. And that ain't gonna happen here, I hope. So guys, from on the way to Roswell to start this plan in action, because nothing's gonna happen unless I get off my butt and go do it. And that's it, baby. Get busy doing or get busy not doing. What is it? Get busy living or get busy dying? Well, you're dying just being here. This thing's a little shaky, and it's a rough road here that goes to Roswell. But anyway, guys, from wherever the hell we are on the way to Roswell, this is Rusty 78609 saying, thumbs up, carpe diem, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. There it is. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye, buy anything you want. Anytime, but if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all my videos. Why? It doesn't cost you a penny. Just click on the link, go to Amazon, buy whatever the hell you want. Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, stand guard at the door of your mind. And if there's anything you want to do in life, and you're my age or near, you might want to start doing it. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.